As we move through this, we have adjustments. This is the latest, it's an 02 5.9, which apparently was the end of the line for the 5.9 and the 1500s. So the difference is they start trickling over, I think, in some of their parts crossing, or at least their pumps. You'll notice the power steering pump's missing, and I opted for power steering in the new QA1 kit, which QA1 is gracious enough to include some adapters and some good information. What I don't know that I read in the instructions is that the new style Hemi pump, the Gen 3 Hemi, puts out too much pressure for this rack, for the Fox body rack that we're using. So it does say that the Saginaw pumps are acceptable. So thank goodness I never threw anything away. I stripped a late model or an earlier model Magnum at one time for the front accessory drive. And on the left, you'll see the Saginaw pump, and on the right, you'll see the Hemi style pump. I'll have to transfer over to this, which you can tell there's a pulley difference. It might change my belt size, which sucks. I already bought a belt. It's fine, I guess. But this is what you're looking at to change over if you're going to use the power option, which I wanted because I'm a baby. So I'll have power steering eventually when I put this back on. The ribs of the belts, they're the same width belt, but they are a different diameter pulley. So this is what the Saginaw pump looks like. This is a pressure fitting that QA1 references and gives you a source for them, which I think is fantastic. Thank you, QA1. That was awesome. I'll probably have to go to -6 AN lines to make this work, which I don't know that I care. It's an extra expense that I might not be able to get on the road, but it's okay. We're going to do that anyway. So we're going to put that on, and it should bolt right up. All the Magnum stuff should interchange more or less. So we'll keep moving. Pain is an exceptional teacher. We were going pretty well. Things were going really well. And I think I hit my first snag. Hopefully it's the last one. And honestly, this is on me. What you're gonna look at here is you can kind of see, if I can get you to focus. Kinda, no, not really. Anyway, well, you can see it dripping there. There, that's it. That's my steering box. It now leaks from places it shouldn't. What you may be able to make out from the picture, maybe not, is that high and low pressure lines placement is correct in this picture, with the high pressure line being the lower and the low pressure line being the larger, higher on the rack. Well, if you don't know that and you plumb them backwards, you get a spectacular milkshake spewing out of the top of that area, essentially where that shaft is. So it also doesn't howl. The pump doesn't howl, but the steering wheel spins like a propeller. And so when that happens, don't try and grab the steering wheel. Just let it go and turn it off. So we'll be putting a new seal in the rack perhaps, or even replacing the rack. I don't know. I think I can get by with the seal, but we're going to try and take this brand new rack with 0 miles on it and put seals on it. This has not been my day. I've already dumped half a quart or so of fluid on my head. So I'm super excited to be out here, super excited to see my new stuff broken, and I'm super excited to learn more stuff about my setup than I already knew. So learn from my mistakes. Oh, also, don't leave a opened quart of fluid above the area you're working, because you'll wind up wearing it. Ask me how I know. we keep moving. So surveying the damage, I see, I don't know if that'll focus or not. Get in there. Well, you can't really see it. A prolapse seal. There, that's a good shot of it right there. Now what I can try and do is open that, or snap rings, and get that seal out. I've got a rebuild kit that might work for this, and we're gonna give it a shot. I'm gonna try and pry that seal out and replace the seal, because that's where the oil's getting passed. The pressure just inverted it and is letting it get passed on the shaft. So we're gonna see if we can get it out and put a new seal in it, or maybe even just replace this one. I don't know. We'll see what shape it's in. Driving a screw down in there, which is kind of an old school thing, but it's what we used to do. It seems to be at least partially time tested. Still seems to work okay. And there's the seal. What's left of it. Loogered it up pretty good getting it out. Yeah, all right. Well, now we clean that up, make sure we didn't get any shavings or anything in here. Let's see if we can put a new seal in it. Yeah, you can see the spring inside there. What's left of that seal. It blew out. Shouldn't be there, but it is. I have to pull that out. Something like this. There's the spring. It goes with that seal. Chunks of shit. Doesn't look too bad. We'll reseal it and see what happens. So moving along, we've created a mess, but at least I get to go over something we missed. So we're going to choose to see the happy side of my stupidity. So QA1 contends that this rack and pinion is a Fox body, which I have no reason to doubt. The one that they shipped, in fact, looks identical to the one I just bought from O'Reilly's Master Pro 1010107 remanufactured rack. There's discussion about whether or not the remanufactured ones are as good as the originals. I don't know. I wouldn't know. It ought to work for a little while, right? So the bushings and whatnot that they redo in these things are what we're referring to there. So we're going to go through the application of the extensions for the rack to fit that application, because it requires some work. So we have to take off the original boots that come with it and install extensions, which you can see right here is what the rack looks like without the steering arms, and right here is what those extensions look like from QA1, this piece right here. So we're going to take that, we're going to take the original piece off, and it just unscrews, and then we're going to install the new piece, which is a bit of a redo, but you guys will get the benefit of seeing it anyway. So that's the plan. This is what we got to do to install the Mustang rack and the QA1 suspension. So as you can see, there's not a lot to it. It's fairly simple. The biggest problem you're going to have is getting a hold of this thing to knock these off. And you saw those stockers straight from the reman. They weren't pinned. When I say pinned, I mean there's a small hole in this guy that typically I see pins inserted in, and there's a small recessed area on the receiving piece. You can see it here that pin sits in. They weren't exceptionally tight either. I don't quite know what to make of that, but they were tighter. I'm afraid they should be tighter, but if that's how the factory is remanning them, then I don't think there's much hazard there. I'll repin one of them because I got the pin out of one. I broke the other one, so it is what it is. But that's what we got to do, and then I'll put these back on, these boots. They come with these, the kit comes with these boots. They're longer because you got a longer distance between this and that now than you did. But you know, that's pretty much it. It's fairly straightforward on the conversion. I'm kind of surprised QA1 doesn't go ahead and throw those in anyway, but installing them, that is. But that's an extra cost to the kit that most of us probably wouldn't appreciate, so I guess that's it. All right, we keep moving.